Talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Welcome to Talking with Tom. I'm Tom Dacey alongside Ed McCarver. Hello, Ed.
Tommy, how are you? Good to see you again. Good to be back in studio again. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. And unfortunately, we were supposed to be at Celebrate Wallingford this past weekend.
One of our favorite shoots, and unfortunately, somebody by the name of Joaquim wrecked the plans, not only of our plans for being there, but for everyone. But Celebrate Wallingford, we're happy to say, rescheduled for the 17th and 18th, and you and I will be there, and we'll do our usual thing. We'll probably gain about 20 pounds with all the food vendors there.
Absolutely.
It'll be a lot of fun.
We'll be out there on the 17th, which is on Saturday.
Saturday the 17th, and a lot of good entertainment. Of course, anybody that's been to Celebrate Wallingford knows it's. I think they said next to the Memorial Day Parade, probably the biggest attended event for the town of Wallingford is Celebrate. I think last year they had 15,000, and last year I think they had one day of bad weather. So it always brings the crowds in, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, unfortunately, as part of the washout this past weekend was the annual cemetery tour on Friday evening.
Yeah, Bob Devaney's cemetery tour that he has at the Center Street Cemetery, unfortunately, was washed out. But as Bob noted on his Facebook page, set your iPads or iNotes, or whatever you call them, for September 30th, 2016. And because we know the cemetery's not going anywhere, and hopefully Bob and the rest of the actors, including myself and Maureen, who are involved in it, will be available for that event. So a good event, and you know, when you get to be our age, September 30th will be here before you know it.
Well, we know you don't need much makeup for the cemetery tour.
That'll be fine. I'm surprised you didn't talk about the Trail of Terror. That's right, Trail of Terror opens this month, too. Wayne Barneschi and his very fine group down by P&A. So, and I see they were already rained out one night.
But we have a very important show this evening. We're here to talk about my annual Tommypalooza. Yep,
an event that's, that you've done. And I do have one question for you before we interview our guests. But Tommypalooza, November 15th?
Yes.
To be held at the Tavern on Main, Gaetano's Tavern on Main, and it's a very important event. What number is this? I should know, but do you off the top of your head?
I lost count, believe it or not. I think it's about number 8, I believe.
8? Oh, so you're almost in double figures. Well, let's introduce our guests first, and then I'll start out with a question for you.
Okay. First, we have from T's Promotional Entertainment and Concerts for Causes, Tina Taylor.
Hi.
Welcome, Tina.
Thank you.
And next to Tina, no stranger to Talking with Tom, from Concerts for Causes, our good friend Lisa Catherine. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello, guys. Good to be here.
Lisa Catherine, who I think has been on the show longer than we have. I think she co-hosted a couple of times when one of us was sick.
And the show was never so good.
I know. Our ratings soared that night, I remember.
You guys were something else.
Before we talk about Concerts with Causes and T's promotional entertainment, which is helping with Tommypalooza, just give the viewers that how did you get the idea to do a Tommypalooza event, and what led to the first one those 8 or 9 years ago?
As you know, the very first one I came up with after having met a mother and daughter by the name of Margaret Burke and Rita Duran, who suffered from Arnold-Chiari syndrome, and they could not get the necessary surgery they needed. We had them on our show, and I said that something had to be done, and that's when I came up with the idea for having the Tommypalooza. And at that time, I think I raised just about $1,000 for them.
I remember them, mother and daughter, very lovely people. Very, very, very nice mother and daughter combination. And they came down too and greeted us and greeted the guests and participants there. That was a fun day.
That was actually at the old T-Bones over here.
Yes, yes, down by the gazebo, down by Fishbine Park. So, God, that seems like yesterday. That was almost 8-9 years ago. Oh, where does the time go?
But this year's event is very near and dear to my heart. It is for Shriners Hospital in Springfield, Mass. So I'm looking forward to giving back to them.
Yep, and Shriners, I know we've documented what the Shriners has meant to you, what the Shriners has done for you.
17 years total I spent with the hospital, both as an inpatient and outpatient.
And they do just marvelous work. I think when people think of the Shriners, they always think of the parades with the Shriners going around with their little cars and everything, and they're just fabulous people. And I know I've had other friends of mine that have dealt with Shriners Hospital and can't speak highly enough about them. They do such fantastic work.
Ironically enough, when I was talking to Shriners about the event coming up, I was approached to speak to a group of Shriners that are coming into the organization.
Oh, really?
They were looking for former patients to come and address the Shriners and talk about their experiences at the hospital. I am still trying to coordinate to see if I can get up there. It's taking place on November 14th, the day before our Tommypalooza.
Okay.
And it's going to be in Newington, and it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I would have to be there before 9. So I'm trying to coordinate to see if I can somehow get a ride up there, so it would give me a chance to really thank the Shriners in person for everything they've done for me.
And I'm sure they would love to see you up there, and I'm sure you'll have an inspirational speech for them. It's a good group just over the state line in Springfield. But part of Tommypalooza this year, on November 15th, are what our two guests are involved with, Lisa Catherine and Tina Taylor. And Lisa, we know, is involved with Concerts with Causes. And I suppose, Lisa, we should begin the conversation with, tell us a little bit about Concerts with Causes, how it began, and how the organization has been going so far.
Well, Concerts with Causes began officially August 2011. We are a 501c3 nonprofit music event organization. We do music events to raise awareness and funds for local individuals and programs that need help. So we've been very busy the last 4 years. It was really beginning. It kind of created itself, and people came into place to help create it. The attorney that helped with the 501c3, and our first event was up in Hartford. All those people just kind of came, and it's interesting when things are meant to be how things just happen. Things fall into place easily. The last 4 years, I crunched the numbers the end of the winter, early spring, when the girls went down to Nashville to work with our Stephen Cochran. And at that time, it was a little bit over $55,000 that we've raised in the last 4 years. A little bit more than that, because we did do a couple more events over the summer. So they're all small events, and they all have purpose and meaning, and everybody that's involved, the musicians, the business owners, the volunteers, all are passionate about helping for the particular cause. So it's been really, really nice.
And I remember that first event in Hartford, because we were there.
You guys were there.
Who was the band in the lobby? Those youngsters.
Gray Negative.
Gray Negative.
Gray Negative.
You know, they're all off to college now. They were in junior high school. Yep, they were just finished 8th grade at Dot.
They were in junior high school, and they did a version of Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. And to see a bunch of junior high school kids do Jimi Hendrix, and they nailed it.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yep. And I couldn't even tell you how many times that they helped us over the years. Any luck when they all come back at some point.
So they're still together. They're still playing.
Their hearts are still together. They're all over the country right now.
Yeah.
So when they're all back home, there will be reunited events. So I'm looking forward to
Good.
that.
Good.
But that was fun, that very first event.
And you did mention something about Nashville, which makes me want to segue over to Tina.
Tina,
Tea's
our
promotional
Nashville girl over here.
Tea's Promotional Entertainment. Can you tell us a little bit about how that company began?
Well, I used to do volunteer work out of my house, and I have 5 children, and my husband passed away, so I was like, what other way am I going to help people? And someone gave me
I
the
think one of the
opportunity.
bands is auditioning for the concert now. So.
I was brought up an opportunity to help an artist out, and I'm very big on especially like indie artists, because it's not like national acts, because all these national acts actually pay out a lot of money to be heard and stuff. So I'm a big supporter of all indie artists and stuff like that. So I started helping this one artist and just rolled into another, So it's great, and I teamed up with Lisa now, and I'm helping her with Concert with Causes too, and it's great because we kind of like go together because we both work with music, we get to help people, and it's great.
Is it James Copeland, the artist?
Yep, James
Yes.
Copeland, he was here.
Yes,
Yep.
who's been a special guest on our show. And is it Walking to Work?
Yes.
Yep.
That's an
Walking to Work.
awesome song. I remember
Yeah.
James Copeland, a good guest and a
Great
talented
guy.
performer
Great
here.
guy.
Yeah. So.
But this is like I said, I partnered with Lisa and Tina last year, and this is our permanent partnership now for Tommypalooza.
Oh, nice.
I'm very
Nice.
proud to be partnered with the 2 of these ladies.
Very good. Very good. One more question I want to ask you, Tom, before, and you mentioned this year it's for the Shriners. How do you decide which charity to support? And I know you've done, I think it was a special education you did not too long, or Special Olympics.
Special
I'm sorry,
Olympics.
Special Olympics. You did
I
not too
try
long
to
ago.
what I've been doing the last couple of years is a lot of the charities that I've chosen I've been personally affected by. So I try to give back to a lot of those charities.
Okay. Good.
And like I said, Shriners was a big part of my life because I was a patient there from the age of 4 till the age of 21. And when they contacted me, I did tell them that I have a lot of fond memories of Shriners because not only did I spend my birthday in there 1 year, but I also spent Thanksgiving in there and Christmas.
Ah,
And let me tell you, it was just like being at home for the holidays.
really?
The way
That's good.
the way they treated the patients and everything at the holidays, I think I made out better in the hospital than I did at home.
We're talking with Lisa Catherine and Tina Taylor from Concerts with Causes and Tea's Promotional Entertainment, promoting the Tommypalooza event going on November 15th at the Tavern on Main here in town. November 15th. What time does it start?
Noon.
Starts at noon, okay?
Noon to 5.
Noon to 5. So a good Sunday afternoon of entertainment. I know Tavern on Main, so you won't miss whatever football game you want to see. You'll be able to see the music and maybe run into the area where they have the TV so you can watch the game as well. So I may be dashing in and out. So
By then, should the Jets be in last place?
no, never mind. They'll be ahead of the fish. Now, I wanted to ask Lisa, with Concerts for Causes, in doing research for this, I saw something about maybe Concerts for Causes getting into the wine business.
Oh, that's right.
You talk a
we
little
did
bit
have
about that, and when does the sipping begin?
Okay, that's a good question. We did post that on Facebook because we were offered the opportunity to get involved with the company where the sales would benefit Concerts with Causes. So kind of putting a little feeler. We don't have that in place yet. But with a nonprofit, as you can imagine, we're always looking for ways to help our organization get stronger financially, because the stronger we are, the more we can do. And we're always looking for different opportunities that people are already spending their money on, and by doing so, they can benefit what we're doing so that we can help do what we do. It's not in place yet, though, Eddie. But you have to stay on our Facebook page and definitely like our Facebook page and our website. Our website's in the process of being redone, The old one is still up, and the information on there is accurate, just not up to date. But I would.
Let's give it a quick plug. www.concertswithcauses.org.
Yep.
Okay.
And the
Oh.
Facebook too is also Concerts with Causes.
Okay.
So.
And T's Promotional Entertainment, do you have a website as well?
Nope. I'm on Facebook of T's Promotional Entertainment, but I'm in the works of getting a website up. So.
Okay. Can you talk, and the three of you, since you're involved, can you talk about some of the entertainment, some of the groups or performers?
Well, we are currently working on that. I do have confirmation from our good friend Arlene Wow.
She's
Arlene
wonderful.
Wow
She's
will be in
performed for
attendance.
Concerts with Causes and you before.
Yeah. So I know Tina's been working
I'm in
on
touch with some artists right now.
getting some other artists for us. But
Excellent.
I don't want to say until things are confirmed.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Arlene Wow, I think is probably just worth the price of admission.
And we all know what a trooper she is.
Yeah, and Arlene Wow is a good name and a good description of how she performs. What was it? We had an event.
That was a Tommypalooza down at PNA Park.
Was it PNA or okay? But there was.
Oh, was it PNA? No,
Oh, it might have
was
been
not
J.
P-
Ruse.
It was down at J. Ruse. That's what
Yeah.
it was. No, the one at PNA was when I was introducing Doug Allen. That was
Yes,
funny.
and we'll tell
Yeah.
that in a moment. But just to get back to Arlene, she was scheduled to play a set, which is 30 to 45 minutes or something like that.
And Doug Allen didn't show up.
Yeah, there was a problem. So Arlene, trooper that she is, marathoner.
Yep.
I think she went on for almost 2 hours, and didn't miss a beat.
She's
Literally.
incredible.
Yeah, didn't complain. I love Arlene.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
One of the things, and then you mentioned just her alone is worth the price of admission for entertainment. One of the things that I really admire about Arlene is her music is diverse. She could sing classic, she can sing in other languages, she can sing a little bit of country, she can sing rock and roll.
She also writes a lot of her stuff. Yeah.
Original.
Yeah.
She's an original artist. She participated in one of our original music series.
Oh, did she?
Yep, this past spring.
I have not seen her lately, except for when she played at one of our events. But I understand she has teamed up with a violin player.
Yes.
Yeah, that was at my my anniversary show. She performed.
Yeah, but not without the violin player wasn't there, and I
Right.
can't even imagine what that sounds like. That has to be awesome. So Arlene Wow will definitely be there.
Absolutely.
So, good.
And I'm proud to announce too that our good friend Aaron Stone will be on hand with us that day too.
He's the best for sound. That's for sure.
But
Aaron Stone, who I think sometimes works with us here, doesn't he?
he's in charge of sound.
Oh, is he?
for us,
All right.
so.
He makes us sound mellow over the
And
airwaves.
he's done so many things. He actually worked with me personally before we had the nonprofit organization. We did a music event for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society when my daughter was just newly cancer-free down in New Haven. Tommy, you were at that one.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I worked with Aaron Stone. He was just fantastic, and he's been working with Concerts for Causes and me since. He's wonderful. So.
Nice.
But we just want to let everybody know that they can find information on Tommypalooza. They can either contact Lisa, Tina, or myself on Facebook. All the information will be posted shortly on Facebook.
Good. Good.
But I do have to share one fond memory I have of Shriners. This is funny. I don't even remember how old I was. I think I must have been about 4 or 5 years old. And I remember going for a outpatient visit. And at that time I was being seen by the chief of surgery, Dr. Fisher. I was walking my walker and I was barefoot. And the whole time I was walking on my tippy toes. He's looking, he's wondering why I'm walking on my toes, and I'm not saying a word. Get out to the car, and I look at my mother and father, and I said, "Dumb doctor, the floor was cold." And that still sticks with me to this day. I'll always remember that.
You were young, too, 4 or 5
Yeah.
years old. That's very young.
I'll
to
always remember that.
You had alluded to the Doug Allen story. Do
Yeah.
you want to share that? One of the early Tommypaloozas?
Yeah, that was the one that we did at PNA Park. I remember we moved it indoors because we had threatening
weather wasn't cooperating.
We had
yeah.
threatening weather that afternoon. We had thunderstorms, and I remember being inside a P&A, and I'm just about ready to introduce Doug Allen, and I was like, what can I say about Doug Allen? All of a sudden, boom!
The timing couldn't have been more perfect. What else can I say about Doug Allen? All of a sudden,
And the
a
lightning.
crack of thunder. So, yeah, it was fun. I mean, the whole place jumped. So,
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, that was funny. Doug, who was an early supporter of Tommypalooza.
Yeah.
Doug, who I think lives on the other side of the state, doesn't he?
yes, he's in Fairfield, I believe.
Fairfield. So yeah.
Along that way.
A good performance. In our opening montage, you can see Doug Allen.
And
playing.
he's actually doing the theme. Remember
Yes,
he redid
yes,
it.
that's right. That's right. He redid.
He
the theme
redid
song.
Tony Persa's theme.
Yeah. I wanted to ask the three of you, how far in advance of an event do you plan for? Is it something that takes weeks or months, say a Tommypalooza or your first event in Hartford? How long in advance do you have to plan for that?
I usually after the event's over, I usually take a couple of weeks to recoup, and then I start planning for the following year.
And the same with...
Well, with what Tommy said, a year in advance is fantastic, and that's the and for him, he knows, he picks his organization, then he picks his place, and we do the research and try to get all the details in place. The sooner the better. Rule of thumb, 8 weeks is minimum. Absolutely minimum, depending on the type of event, how big it is and where it is and who it's involved. 8 weeks is absolute minimum. A year, and we're negotiating with Steve Cochran to come back up, and we were hoping to get him up for October, and it didn't work, but right now that actually gives us the opportunity to pick another date farther out and get all the details in place and be able to promote it bigger. We really want it to be bigger than what originally we had going on. So.
Yeah, Steve Cochran, who was up in July, and I had the privilege of interviewing here for Concerts with Causes and T's promotional. I think it was one of the most enjoyable interviews I ever did. Even though his guitar string broke in the middle of his first song.
That had character to it.
But yeah, he's
Even
a
more.
very nice man, very passionate about his cause, and yeah, it was fun, and it was a very successful venture he had up here this summer.
And that was, in the works for quite a while, and that, again, the bigger, the better the event, the longer you really need to get the details. I compare it to a wedding. Like when two people get engaged, or you decide you're going to have this event, in this case a wedding, you pick the date, and then you pick the place, and then there's certain priority things. You have to pick the date first, and you have to pick the date, the venue, and then there's certain things you can work back. Like you don't have to pick out the favors right away, but there's certain things, and just like with an event,
That's
like
a good
Tommy
analogy.
Palooza,
You would agree,
you have to pick
Tina?
the date
Definitely.
first.
Yep.
Your cause,
Well,
the venue. So.
and of course we just had a stroke of luck with Tavern being available because we had to change our venue.
Yep, and that happens. So you have to be able to roll with the punches, have backup plans in place. So.
What's the toughest part of putting an event together like this? Is it what you just mentioned?
Just trying to coordinate everybody's schedules to try to get everybody to fit in. If there's certain performers you want, you got to try to make sure they're available, and then you got to coordinate the schedule for that day, what time everybody's going to perform, how long they're performing.
So it can be.
Communication.
Yeah.
Communication and then marketing, getting the word out. I think is probably up there with one of the most important parts of events that we do.
And of course, myself and Tina are having a meeting at Tavern this Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
So we're going up there to go over details.
Again, we're talking about Tommypalooza with Lisa Catherine and Tina Taylor. Again, the event November 15th. It's a Sunday from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We've got less than 5 minutes remaining in this half hour. You mentioned marketing and getting the word out. How important is Facebook and Twitter and the whole social media thing? Actually, I'll start with you, Tom.
I think that's been a great tool for me. I mean, I get a lot of people that respond when I put stuff like this on Facebook. I don't know. Do you
And
feel
the
the
same,
same way,
Tina?
Elise?
I think social media is like a big help, you know, because a lot of people spend most of their time on Facebook, like looking at things. So as long as you just keep reposting it, because sometimes people will miss out or whatever, you just keep reposting it and stuff, and people see it, and I think it's a great tool.
I
And
agree.
Lisa, you would agree?
It's become a key part. It really has. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's always the newspapers and television and radio and all those, but it can be very costly. So
Yep.
I think that any good promotional marketing campaign has to have a solid Facebook campaign going on as well, for sure.
All right. In the very brief time we have remaining here,